Hey guys, good morning. It's Saturday morning here in Guatemala. I'm at my apartment and I'm actually doing a few pretty cool things that I thought people might want to come in and see what I'm up to on this Saturday morning. Now, full disclosure, I know I'm a mess. You know when you climb out of bed in the morning and just kind of throw your hair up because nobody's around. That's the hair I've got going on now. And yeah, I'm doing some cool stuff. So let me just show you around. So first of all, I'm super excited about making broth right now. So one of the things I've got going on is I'm making a chicken broth on the stove top. Ooh. So that's going to be going for the next few hours, and there are all these like awesome health benefits. And then I got a little bit of elderberry and schisandra tea going. Got my yoga mat. I haven't actually done yoga today because I just kind of got excited about getting into the garden. So first of all, I can't remember who gave me these boots, but thank you so much. They have been so incredibly useful and helpful. Hi guys. So I'm going to take you into the garden. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. This is my first time just kind of playing around. I'm messy and I'm okay with that. And you know something I'm also okay with is I'm okay with not doing it perfectly. Buenos dias, hola Guadalupe, hey Alex, hi Rebecca, hi Helen. So I think that one of the big differences of how I approach things now versus how I approached things before is that before I was always trying to get it right. I was trying to do it the right way, and if I couldn't do it the right way, I didn't want to proceed. And so now, what I want is just to get in there and just get my hands dirty, and I'm willing to do it wrong. And this goes for gardening, this goes for literally everything that I create or do. Thankfully, I'm not doing heart surgery. There are some things you have to really get right, especially when there are other people involved. But, you know, as far as a creative thing or the thing that's inside of me, bringing it out into the world, the thing I feel passionate about, I'm willing to do it wrong. Hi, everybody. Okay, so let me show you guys. So I want to give a big thank you shout out to Roger Tower. So when he came and visited, he brought me a bunch of seeds. So I am pulling out some of these seeds right now. Stella is awesome. She had a nice bath yesterday. So let me show you what I got going on here. So here are the seeds that I'm working with. I got this great, my friend Jim brought me this hummingbird butterfly collection. Roger brought me these, which is so sweet. Oh my god, so exciting. So exciting. Kale. So right now I'm just kind of deciding what I'm going to do, what I can do. And so here's my first so I created this little garden bed. Now, I don't know, does it need to be raised? I don't know. All I know is that this soil is pretty good. So I just, you want to know what's funny? So in this garden bed, I planted plantain and dandelion, some dandelion seeds that I got from some dandelions in Mexico, and plantain from a little plantain down here. And these are both in the West we would consider these to be weeds, but I actually consider them to be medicine. So, oh Roger, hi honey, Roger, I was just showing off the seeds that you brought me. Thank you so much. So that's the funny thing is what is a plant is not necessarily a weed. That's sort of like a cultural impression. That's like a impermanent cultural structure imposed upon something, but it doesn't necessarily make it true. It's just what everyone in a culture agrees upon. So in my culture, these weeds are actually medicine. So that's a funny distinction. And those are the things, funnily enough, I put closest to my house. So that's one thing we learn in permaculture is that you have these different zones. And your house is zone 0, and then the zone closest to you is zone 1. So you want to put in zone 1 the things that you're going to be using the most and also visiting the most. So that said, let me show you what else I've got going on. Let's grab these seeds. Thank you, Roger. So So here I actually I just planted for the first time this morning. I put this little rosemary in the ground. So this is one, yeah, Sherry, dandelion in your juice, great for tea. Yeah, dandelion, so you want to know a fun fact. So dandelion is one of the first plants that comes out in the springtime. And that's because it's very good to help you detox all of the stagnation that you built up during the winter. So the earth is very clever in the way she gives us medicines. We just have to be aware and open and conscious and open to recognize what she's offered us, you know? Not all medicine comes in a chemical pill form. In fact, the best medicines come from where we come from. The earth, the soil. So I was talking about zones. So this is my zone 1. So I just transplanted this guy that I've just been, actually I think I've been saving this little rosemary plant since the retreat that we did in December. And it was, one thing you'll see is it's starting to yellow. So what I've learned is this is an indication that, you know, it was being kept in this little bag, and this yellowing is an indication that the plant's really not getting what it needs. Yeah, Elizabeth, hi honey, yeah. Ollie, can I show you to make dandelion tea? Well, so there are 2 parts to the dandelion. There's the root and there's the leaves and the flowers. Oh, Penelope, thank you. So I actually have a dandelion root tea going on the stove with some elderberry, schisandra, burdock root, dandelion root, and coriander and fennel. Just a simple tea. And really, literally, when it's a root, you just gotta boil it longer. If it's like a leaf, you just kind of put boiling water over it and just kind of let it sit. You don't want to boil leaves because then you can kill all the good stuff. But the root you really want to boil. Like I'm boiling that chicken broth on the stove. I don't know if you saw. I got a chicken broth and a nice nourishing tea going. Anyway, so here's the rest of my garden. I think what I'm gonna do. These say that you can sow them right into the ground. So again, thank you, Roger. This is a Swiss chard. We got some cilantro, love it. We got some thyme, not the temporal concept, the herb. Wouldn't that be great if I could just plant thyme, the temporal concept, in my garden and just like grow more thyme? That'd be funny. And then some basil, or if you're from the UK or Australia, you say basil. You know how they also say aluminum? They say aluminium. Just like, you're saying it wrong, silly. But again, they're actually not wrong. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. We just have different culture which impose these sort of like mental and linguistic structures upon how we live life. And the crazy thing is when, you know, none of it is right, none of it is wrong. And yet, people will use these temporal, illusory structures to violate other people who don't agree with theirs. Which is how we get a lot of conflict between belief systems, because people think they're right when it's like, you know, it's like, why did the chicken cross the road? Why did the chicken cross the road? There is no road. The chicken's just being a chicken. The road, the concept of a road, is a human concept that we've imposed upon our environment to then declare that the chicken is crossing the road when the chicken's just being a chicken. The chicken is just being a chicken going from point A to point B, and there's no road, it's just earth, you know? And yet wars can be started, conflict, arguments can be started over the concept of the road and where the chicken is and why the chicken did what the chicken did, but the chicken's just being a chicken. The chicken is just being a chicken. Ooh, Lisa, you're growing 14 varieties of herbs and vegetables. It's your therapy and place of peace. Yeah, I get it. I saw this t-shirt yesterday. It says, I can't hit people, that's why I garden instead. It's like, yeah, totally therapeutic. Oh, and check it out. I got some new gardening clothes. So I've moved away from just wearing yoga pants every day. So that feels good. I bought a linen apron dress last night. Oh my God. I'm going back to visit my sister. I'm leaving on Thursday. So now I'm in the process of ordering a bunch of things that will be there waiting for me. A lot of seeds. All right, let me, Raymond, you thought I was gonna move out. Well, I'm gonna be here for at least 6 more months. So I have 6 months. And then now also the rains have come. So I've been falling asleep to the sound of rain. So as you see, the soil is very, I don't know if you can see, but it's very moist. Everything's very wet now, which is great. So the rains will come in the afternoon. Allison, you started a community garden in your town. That's amazing. That's probably one of the best things you can do. So here's another spot. However, the challenge with this spot is the dogs love to lay here. I don't know if you can see the indentation, but the dogs love to lay here. So, nice. Thanks, everyone. So I'm thinking of planting some more plantains down there. So essentially I have these beds to work with right now. Ooh. And these mulberry. Okay, so here's an example of like, this is a black raspberry bush, or is it a mulberry bush? I can't remember which one it is. But because it wasn't pruned, it's just grown really long and leggy, but if it had been pruned as it was growing, it could be like a really short, small bush that just like takes up a lot of space. But it wasn't tended by a human, and therefore it's going kind of wild. And you want to know something crazy? Not crazy, but kind of like a shifting in, a shifting in belief system is that there is this idea that humans are bad for the earth. You know, like, have you ever been to those, like, forests where it's like, don't touch anything, don't do anything, leave no trace? And it's like, that's actually not true. Like, humans can be really good for the earth. Like, we can be really good for plants. We can be really good for the environment if we tend it well. You know, I believe that we are meant to be the stewards of the earth. We are like the servants of the plants because we can move around. Like, I was just spreading those seeds around. That would have been much harder for the plant to do on its own. It would need like birds, or I don't know, like, we can be in harmonic alignment with the earth, with the people around us, with the elements. Like, we don't have to be, you know, you can just as easily cause destruction and or creation. I mean, they're two sides of the same thing. It's just like, how do you want to wield your power, Spider-Man? How do you want to wield your power? So anyways, Sherry, is plantain like a banana? No, let me show you. So that's a lot of times people get confused. So plantain, there is a banana plantain, but there's also, you probably know this guy. You probably have them in your yard. So this guy, this is plantain. You'll notice it has these like things come up. It has these low leaves like this. So this is a really wonderful medicine. This is really good for your digestion. This is really good if you ever have like a wound or a cut or an insect bite, something itchy. You grab one of these leaves, you chew it up, and then you take that mash and you put it on the bite, or you put it on your wound, and that'll help heal. So this is a really wonderful friend. So I just here we go. So I just planted a lot of this upstairs close to my house because this is one of my favorite things to make for tea. Oh, speaking of tea, let's go check on the tea. So Ollie was asking about, oh, can I show you something, guys? So here's one of the bags from that fundraiser we did. So when the woman at the corner is done with the bag for all the street dogs, I've got this one ready to send down to her to keep feeding the dogs. And I'm really happy to say I've been noticing that the local dogs are not as skinny as they were before. They're not the little skin and bones. Yeah, they're all fattening up, so it's good. I think we're doing a really good, and it's crazy because it's like you guys on the internet supporting Perros Libres, supporting the clinic that I've been doing, the fundraise that I've been doing for the dogs. Like, you're making a difference in the lives of these animals, and I'm watching it happen like slowly over time, and it's pretty amazing. So thanks for that, Stella. You're like the mascot of the local street dogs. Everybody loves Stella now. Like, even local people, they're like, oh, where did you get this dog? And I'm like, this is one of your street dogs. I just gave her food and love and baths and veterinary attention. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so let's go check on so I'm doing a chicken broth right now. I can even turn that down a little. So one thing I learned is that you really don't want it to boil. Wait, let's turn this down. Because boiling it, like, does something to the thing. I don't really know. You want it to have it, like, on a very light simmer. So I got some chicken, onion, carrot, thyme, the herb, not the temporal concept, a bay leaf, some caraway seeds, And that's going to go for the rest of the dinner. And then here's my tea. So in there we have, this one's probably done. We got the elderberry, because I've been having some sniffles and I just want to boost my immune system. Got some schisandra, also great for boosting the immune system. Burdock root, dandelion root. Remember we were talking about dandelion? There you go. It's one of my main allies. Hi, Carrie. Carrie, no word on that package yet. Sorry. Guatemala. So yeah, so in there you'll see there are a bunch of like the roots. I got some licorice root in there. So especially, yeah, roots are really good, especially like when the weather is like cold, when it's wet, you know, when you feel like you just need a little bit of extra, you know, rooting and grounding and nourishment. Cooking up roots can be really good for that. Anyways, let's keep going. How's everyone doing today? Let me just adjust this. Oh, so this is the book that I'm really inspired by. I wrote the Broth. So this is one of those books. Do you remember when I went back? When I went back to visit my sister for my birthday, and you guys showed up and gave me all these like wonderful birthday gifts. Well, these are two of the gifts that I got. So this Nourishing Traditions, and then this Nourishing Broth book. So, oh yeah, so here's the one I'm working with. So you might want to take a screenshot of that if you want to do a basic classic chicken stock. So I'm actually excited to get a pig's foot when I get back. So what's cool about this book is it's talking all about the health benefits of broth. So there's, the first part is, I like that to our grandmother's. Talks about collagen, marrow, amino acids, healing power. Look at this. All of these things that can help cancer. Wow, taking broth can help you heal from cancer, possibly. Mental health. Wow, anti-aging. And then there's the recipes. So this is a really great book. This book is, oh, cool. Chantal, you bought the book after I recommended them. Yeah. My God. Well, it's some interesting shapes we got going on, so that's valuable. Yeah, this book has, I feel like the more I read this book, the healthier I'm going to get. So, yeah. Anyways, oh yeah, and if you want the link to find this book, if you go to my website, ericaderrickson.com, and go to the shop, Erica's Favorites, Erica's Faves, I list books, I list all of my favorite things, and so you can find that book there. Yeah. Yeah, Carrie, I have faith it'll get there too. Carrie and I are trying out the private mail system because she wanted to send me some stuff for the animals. She helped me so much with Stella during the retreat, and so she's like a vet tech and like wanted to send me some supplies, which is great. And we've been waiting a really long time for the package, so we don't know. This is the first time trying the system, but we'll see if it works. All right, let's get back out to the garden. Oh, thanks, guys. Hi, Jane. How you doing, honey? Yeah, we're all beautified by our shapes. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's a cool shape. Can we stop trying to all be the same shape and just be the lovely shape that we are? A curve is the loveliest, what is it? A curve is the loveliest distance between 2 points. All right, so let's go back, and I'm gonna just get back to work. So one thing I really like about here in Guatemala, oh, I have no pockets in these pants. Jeez, I need gardening pants need pockets. You can't just stuff things down your pants. I mean, that works too, but so we garden with pickaxes. This was painted to show that it's mine, and shovels. So I think I'm going to, just work with the seeds that I just picked. So here's what I've got so far. Pretty excited. I think if I were to, no, you know what? I don't need to ask for anything. I have everything I need. I need to just, loving yourself, Jane. You know, can I share something with you? when I did that book coaching program, it was an expensive program, and everyone was there writing the book on their heart based on like what they had learned on their journey to help people get through what they had been through. Or, you know, I was teaching people how to travel, but, you know, a lot of things. But they joke in the writing program that all of these self-help books that were being written to help transform people's lives all boil down to the same thing: self-love for women in transition. Now the key is, you can't write a book about self-love for women in transition, at least not on the outside, because no one's going to buy that. Even though that's what everyone needs, that's not what people are buying. They're looking for how to lose weight, how to start traveling alone, how to start a daycare, like how to do all of these things, how to get over anxiety and depression, like how to raise a child with ADHD, like all of these things, these how-to books. Like the main core, which they don't tell you, is it all comes down to self-love for women or people in transition. Self-love in transition. So if you can just do that, you don't have to buy the book, right? So, all right, let's keep going. Where's the bottom of the quote? Something is missing. Yeah, I know, Eileen, you know, I was really against working in this garden. I had some stuff with the landlord. It was just like, no, you know, like I was feeling some resistance, and then like, oh, but I'm leaving. And it's like, you know what? But I just really want to work in the garden. Like, it would give me a lot of joy just to work in the garden and just grow something. And even, you know what, to leave something behind for the next people. Like, to leave some medicinal plants behind for the next people. You know, once upon a time I was at this house in Thailand, Labracadabra, and I was leaving soon, and I wanted to make some sauerkraut. And I remember saying this out loud to my friend, like, oh, well, I'm not going to make the sauerkraut because it won't be ready until, I won't be here when it's ready. And I'll never forget that moment, because it was like, wow, that was really selfish. So I'm only going to do something if I can directly benefit from the result of my labor. Like that's not how forests work. You know, I think that if I can get to a place where I'm doing things for the love of doing it and not because of what I can get from it, then I will have reached a new level of spiritual and emotional maturity in my life that is the kind of caliber that changes the world. Do you know what I mean? So, plant the garden. Plant the tree, even though you'll never sit under its shade. Plant the tree, even though you'll never taste its fruit, because God willing, someone else will, and you will have contributed meaningfully. And not because you wanted something for yourself, but because you sincerely wanted to act out of what gave you joy and passion, you know? So that I'm going to keep working in this garden. I'm going to keep doing, because you know what? I would love for the next 6 months to be able to watch these plants grow. That would give me joy. Even though afterwards I won't be here, that's okay, because I will have had joy. I will have done something that brings me joy. I will have learned something. That was the other thing. It's like, you know, I said before, I only wanted to do it right. I only wanted to do it if I could do it right. I only wanted to do it if I could benefit. I could only do it if I could, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, it's also not the best way to learn. Like, also, I just really want to learn. And even just this time of working in the garden now, I just feel like I've learned something just by touching the soil. So like, I am benefiting. My future gardens are benefiting from what I'm doing now, in the unknown of what I don't know what I'm doing, but just doing. The self-realization happens in the doing, not in the thinking about doing, not in the waiting to do, not in the waiting for things to be perfect, you know? It happens in the doing now, because each doing now gives us a little bit new perspective on what feels most right, what works and what doesn't, and that's valuable. So yeah. Winter and deers have killed 7 of your trees you planted last year. That's sad, and that sucks. And that's also part of life. You don't get the life without the death. It's just part of it, and it's not bad, it's not wrong. It's part of the process, and those trees decomposed, they fed the deer, they went back into the earth, they fed the microbes. Like, there's still an exchange of energy that's going on. So even if you didn't get the result that you wanted, which I know, I want the result that I want, but I think more so I want to learn. And I want to have the satisfaction of touching the earth and being with the earth. That's what I want, because it's therapeutic. And that's one thing I can really tell you from that course that I just did on the natural building, was that working with the earth is therapy. It is therapeutic. You can feel all crunchy and scratchy and sad and messed up inside, and then you spend some time playing with mud, playing with plants, sitting outside, and it's just like, it lifts something. It helps process something. I don't know how it works, but it's some kind of medicine. So, yeah, cool, Jesse, your landscaper in Maine. That must be amazing. Nice, Carrie. Can't wait to see how the pond is shaping up. That's great. How will the seedlings fare the rainy season? Amy, I don't know. I don't know. But good thing I'm not trying to do it right. But it does feel like now is a good time to start. If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not me, then who? So hopefully the rains haven't fully picked up. I think that it should really start. Wait, it almost is May. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Aw, Francesca, thank you. Aw, thanks, honey. Alright, guys. And I know I need a shower. Actually, I treated myself to a massage yesterday, and so the woman, I asked her to massage my head and my face, and she had the oil, so it was like really oily, so I know. Thankfully, the people who love me most don't actually care about whether my hair is oily. It's great. Debbie says, you should plan your land so you'll have plants when you move. So yeah, Debbie, I totally get that. And however, the challenge with that is that we're going to be doing earthworks. We're going to be moving earth and creating terraces. So if I plant there right now, then that earth is probably going to be moved. And so I need to wait. The thing with the land is I just need to wait, which is hard because I want to go. But in the meantime, I'm learning. What's that quote from Abraham Lincoln? It's like, if you have 3 hours to cut down a tree, spend 2 hours sharpening your axe. So I'm in the process of sharpening my axe right now. Granted, I would love to start cutting, proverbially, so to speak, metaphorically, but I have to sharpen my axe. I have to sharpen my mind. I have to train myself. I have to learn, because if I go in there with a dull axe, then it's not going to be nearly as effective as if I go in there with a sharp one, right? And that sharp one means my understanding of the earth, my literacy, my knowledge, right? My ability to know what I'm doing and not make stupid mistakes because I'm an ecologically illiterate human, you know? So that's what I'm doing. And so I'm a little bit on this vein. The next course I'm planning to take is a Permaculture for Herbalist course. It's a month-long course. Some of my roommates at Karuna were taking it last year with this woman, Sarah Wu. There's a website, it's like thevillagewitch.com. So she's doing a course here in Guatemala in end of November into December. So I'm thinking of signing up for that. But we'll see, inshallah, we'll see. God willing. Oh, Troy, hopefully you're going to be growing by the time your mom comes home. I hope your mom is doing well. Just keep, you gotta see beyond the darkness to see the wellness underneath it. And I think the more we see that wellness in a person, whether ourselves or someone else, the more we feed that wellness, and the more that grows. But if we just see the injury or the demon or the illness or the infection or whatever it is, if that's what we focus on, and that's who we identify them with, then of course that's going to grow stronger. But if we can see through that to the wellness, to the original state underneath, and we focus on that, then that is what's going to grow. Because as you know, I'm sure you heard, where your attention goes, energy flows. Wherever you focus your attention is what grows. So if we focus on what's wrong or what's not enough, then we can make ourselves very upset. speaking about myself. And if we can choose to focus our attention on what's working, and this was actually my friend, one of my friends from the course, she works with, she goes into like hospitals and people who are dying, and she does like somatic therapy with them, and she told me that like it's really overwhelming to step into these situations where these people are so unwell, and she said the thing that they do as these healers essentially is like you start with what's well. You focus on what's working, you know, you start there and you grow out from there, you know. So yeah. Okay guys, I'm gonna get back to it, and then I was supposed to work on my I'm a little late working on the newsletter. It's supposed to go out like tomorrow because now is the new moon. Oh, hi Sandy, hi honey, thank you. Susie, right back at you, honey. Nice, Troy. I'm not surprised. You are the mushroom man. Hi, Cinnalyn. Thank you, honey. Thank you, honey. I'm gonna get back to it. Oh, and for my High Vibe tribe, you guys know that we have our Zoom calls tomorrow morning. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. And I have some crazy. I think I'm gonna tell you guys the story of something that's been going on that's like not fit for general internet consumption, but I'm gonna share this with you guys. So get on the call tomorrow morning, and I'm going to tell you a crazy freaking story of something that happened in the last couple days that I'm still processing. Yeah, I'll tell you guys, because I think there's a lot of learning to come out of it. Hi, Mary, thank you. I left the gas on. Yeah, so Carol, the chicken soup is going to go for the next few hours, but it's at the lowest possible setting, so... Alright guys, I love you all very much. Oh yeah, Carrie Ann, thanks for pointing that out. So our new book, I put the link below, with the Karuna community. Every Wednesday there's a poetry at Karuna, and Luke did an amazing job compiling or getting the contributors to send in their poems and put together a book. And so we as a community just published a book. So I have 3 poems in there. One of them is about Annabelle, and then 2 of them are about love, the kind of the light and the dark side of love. And it's available on Amazon, so you can check it out. So, alright. I just realized I'm hungry. I gotta go soak some oatmeal. Bah. Alright guys, I love you all. Happy Saturday. I hope you do something today. I hope you make some time to do something that brings you joy. Not for any other result than the joy and satisfaction that it brings you to do the thing. Not because you'll one day harvest the fruit. Maybe someone else will harvest the fruit, but you'll just have the satisfaction of just doing the thing. Oh, hi Debbie. Thank you so much, honey. Going to get some flowers. Great. Yeah, Amy, you too? Yeah, it's time. So I'm going to boil some water and put the boiling water over the... Why don't we just do it? Let's just do this really quickly. I thought we were saying goodbye, but let's just prep the oatmeal for the smoothie so I can have that after I'm finished gardening. Party completed. Woohoo! All right. Oh, the gas is too low. It's not even simmering. There's like a fine line. It's like you don't want to... Oh, thanks, Roger. You don't want to let it boil because then apparently it gets like cloudy and it does something. There's like a whole science to it. Let's see. Little challenging to do this with one hand. Ouch. Here's my elderberry tea. Let's do this. There we go. That will boil. Now let's get... Oh, here's the poetry book. Here it is. So this is just like a local copy that was printed out. My poems are right at the end because I was the last person to submit poems at the very, very end, way after the doors had closed. That's cool. Ooh, nice. Bethany, you're going to be doing a new moon ceremony, deep self-love and care day. Good for you, honey. Yeah, I've heard that this new moon in Taurus is all about, planting seeds of self-worth, really anchoring into like what gives you pleasure. So we're talking about with the garden, like pleasure doesn't just have to be like a sexual thing. Pleasure can be like putting your hands in the earth, or like we were watching these videos about like doing plaster, like clay plaster. It was like, oh my god, that looks so good. Like painting, dancing, singing, reading a book to your child. Like what lights you up, like what turns you on, like what turns on that inner light bulb, and like do that. Wendy, you want to be able to send me some seeds? Ooh, I want to receive your seeds. Okay, Wendy, here's the thing. If you really want to send me some seeds, I would totally welcome that. Go to my website, find any of the contact forms, and just send me a message there through my website, and that'll go to my email. And yeah, and I would and then I'll give you a place where you can send me some seeds. I would love that. Thank you. Ooh, April Rogers, you were just reading about the new moon. What did you learn? Bismillah. Oh, Debbie, thanks, honey. You know, I had a really intense incident with a friend the other night, and she was going through a really, really hard thing, and like, I didn't know what to do to help. And what I came to understand was just being there. I ended up like singing for her. I ended up just like being there with this like loving, these like, okay, so in the natural building course we learned about this this story. There's a spider on my cup. Is there? Probably. I mean, there could be, but there's not. It's not in my cup, so that's okay. So we learned about this story. I don't know what tradition it came from, but there was a time when darkness fell upon the earth. Darkness fell upon the earth, and things weren't working. Things were breaking down. People were fighting. People were unwell. People were unhappy. Like there was some sort of disharmony that had fallen over the earth, and some thought that there was a demon, or like some sort of bad spirit had fallen upon the people. And so a great council, a great gathering was called, and all of the animals came together. And there was a discussion about who would go to find the demon, and who would go to like to find this bad spirit. Like, and so it's like the condor came forward and said, "I will fly to every corner of the earth to find this spirit." But it was like, no, you're not the one. And the little ant came and said, "I will go, and I will crawl through every crack, and I will find this bad spirit," right? And the animals went through this like this procession to all volunteer to say, "I will go, I will find this bad spirit. Like I will put an end to this." And for whatever reason, none of them were elected for the job. And until this little deer came forward, and the deer had these beautiful big eyes and this soft demeanor and this like wonderful love about her, and she says, "I will go and I will find the bad spirit." And for whatever reason, I can't remember who was in charge, but they said, "Yes, please." And so the little deer went and found the dark cave, and the little deer went into the darkness, into this dark cave, and there she met the demon. She met the bad spirit. And the demon growled at her, and the demon showed its fangs, and it rose up, and it did its darndest to scare this little deer. And what all the deer did was she just looked at it with her big, beautiful eyes, these eyes of love, these eyes of compassion, right? All she did was look upon the darkness with love and with compassion. And as she did, the demon began to shrink and shrink and shrink until it was the size of a little raisin. And subsequently, harmony came back to the earth, back to the people. The light was able to rise. So it was not through fighting the darkness. It was not through trying to solve it. It was not through, any of these things. It was really merely just withholding these eyes of love, these eyes of compassion, right? So when I had this really, really scary, crazy experience with a friend the other night, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know how to help, all I did was I remembered that story, and I just sung, and I just looked upon her with these eyes of compassion, and I looked upon the situation that was unfolding, which was very scary, and I just looked upon the whole thing with eyes of compassion, and then it ended up being resolved. So you know, whatever darkness you're facing, I encourage you to call upon that deer energy, whether you're looking at COVID or the war in Europe or whatever, something with an addict in your life, or, you know, now the thing though is that, you know, looking upon something with love doesn't mean that we have to like condone it or enable it or like make excuses for it, or, you know, compassion and really strong boundaries go really, really well together. So it's like, I love you, I feel extremely violated by you, I love you, here's how it's going to go if you want to interact with me in the future. If you can't honor my boundaries, then I can't have you in my life. And I love you, and I can love you from afar because you're going through something, and there's obviously something that you need to work out, and I honor where you are in your spiritual path and your spiritual journey, and I don't want to be near you while you're unable to honor my boundaries. I don't want to be near you while I don't feel safe with you. I don't want to be near you. I don't want to let you into my home while you have demonstrated that you can't be trusted. And I love you, right? So like the deer eyes of compassion. All right, so this is boiling. So here, so also my sink is clogged. Jesus. So like some funky stuff is happening with the water in my house. So the bathroom sink busted, the kitchen sink is clogged. It's just like, yeah, it's a little bit messy in here, and you know, it's not ideal. It's like right as I'm about to leave for the States. So all right, let's get the breakfast box. I'll show you what's in here. And I need more counter space. Jesus. Okay, let's move the plants. You don't need the plants here right now. You can turn off. Let's grab a cup. This, and let's get a bigger cup. Let's get this one. Oh, wait, we can still use this one. Okay, so here's what's in my breakfast box. So here's what I'm going to do. So I used to do a much more complicated smoothie recipe. Now it's much simpler. I don't soak things overnight. But what I do do is I get some boiling water with my oats. I like to do the full oats, not the cut ones, because the cut ones brings an energetic quality. I like the whole oats. So we're gonna do one of these. Boop ba-doop. Boop ba-doop boop boop. Yeah, Troy, it's exactly what you had to do with your son. Because you know what? If like someone in your life has an alcohol or drug problem, like you don't help them by like putting like taking their shit. Like that teaches them that it's okay for them to act that way and there are no consequences to their destructive behavior. So you're not actually helping them. You might be like easing, you might be like avoiding like a hard conversation, or like covering up for an addict, giving them money, like believing their excuses. Like, nah. Actions are what I want to see, not words. Words are easy. Words are cheap. Words are powerful, but a lot of times, you know, especially when you're dealing with an addict, like they will say anything they can to get what they want from you. So they're manipulating you. So they're using your emotions against you to manipulate you. So are you really going to stand up for that? Or can you put up with like some temporary discomfort in order to actually really help them, you know? So here I got my seed mix. So I made a mix instead of doing them all separately. So I got my sesame seeds, my chia seeds, and my flax seeds. I just buy them in bulk and then I just mix them together in a jar. Here we're gonna get some cranberries. Also, some crayons. Give me some crayons. And then, good morning everyone. Use vinegar, baking soda, and salt. That should clear the clog and chase it down. You know, I would have to like, it's a good idea. I thought of that, but it's just, it's so clogged. I think like the plumber needs to come and just kind of open up the pipes and just, you know. All right, let's do this. Let's get me some dates. You want a date? How about next Thursday? Ha 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 ha. Boop. What are you saying? Your boundaries have... Oh, hey, Holly. Your boundaries have become a lot more firm the last year. Being back to work, you're very clear about your... Yeah. I mean, I feel like the boundaries are such a key piece, especially when we're healing physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, because, like, this is how we really have enough for ourselves and not just give it away to everybody else, right? And other people are not entitled to the sanctity of your essence, you know. Children, different. But even still with children, with everybody, we need to have boundaries. But boundaries can change from moment to moment and person to person and situation to situation, which is why I think the most important thing is just that we get in the practice of reading, what are my boundaries? What do I want? What am I willing to give with a whole heart? What can I give? What can't I give? I can't give that right now. And being okay to say that, I can't give that to you right now, for whatever reason, you know? Sally, I've been gardening. So we're actually gardening right now, but I just came in to do my breakfast because it's already 9:30 and I haven't eaten. And so I'm going to go work in the garden and then I'm going to come back and this will have bloop. So it's kind of like a slow cook in a way. And then the seeds and the stuff and the chicken broth. Woo! Smelling really good. Smelling really good. That's going to be great later today. And then those bones, when they're nice and soft, I'll put them in the Vitamix and make a puree, and then I'll put that on the kids' food tonight, so. Okay, guys. Hi, Doug. Doug, broth. Dude, have you looked into broth as a, like, medicine? Come, let me show you. Let me show you this book. Okay, pardon my mess. I'm at work. So this is one of these books that I got when I was back in the States last time. And it's all about the way broth has been used to the healing power of broth. Mental health? Oh, no. All these different things. It's a really great book. Heather, you're jealous of how healthy you eat. Well, honey, I'm learning. And there's nothing that can stop you from learning. You're not a victim. Especially of what you put in your body. Okay. All right, love you, Carrie. I'm with you as you feed your baby goats. I love you so much. I love you so much. And now I'm curious about, do you have a compost system with all that great goat poop? You could be getting some wonderful gold for your garden with all that great poop. All right. I love you guys. I'm going to get back to the garden, and I'll see you later. And if you're one of those people... Ooh, Holly, that's great. That's great. If you're one of those people who really wants to send me seeds, just go to my website, fill out one of the contact forms. Let me know what you'd like to send me. I'm not gonna receive very much this time because my bags, and I really don't want to do the thing I did last time. It cost me a lot of money to bring all that stuff back. So, but selectively and some things for the garden, that's like kind of where it's at right now. Alright guys, I love y'all very, very much. Thanks for being with me. Happy Saturday. Remember, what gives you joy? Go do that. And not for some later reward. Do it for what the joy it gives you now. And then also, where's my broth? What's something that you could do now that later on it's going to help you? So it's like life is balancing these forces of doing the things that create the joy in the moment, while also doing things for your future self to help your future self. So it's just all the ways that we can love ourselves, both now in the moment, but also doing things now that we don't directly benefit from now, but that will help our future selves. And then also doing things for the sake of just doing them, not because we benefit from it, but because someone else will benefit from it, but... Bah. Okay, I'm done. Hi, Michelle. I love you. Alright, guys. Have a beautiful day. How long is the fire starter good for? Nicole, forever. Like, the longer it sits, the better it gets. Delilah, that's great. Alright. Bye, guys. Love you.